There's 3 myths about hospice care that I hope we can start to kind of phase out of the veterinary medical profession. The first one is that hospice care actually extends the life of the pet. The point of hospice care is not to extend the life of this pet. Really what it's supposed to do is support that pet's comfort throughout the time that they continue to be alive until the family either requests euthanasia or if the pet happens to pass on their own. But sometimes some of our families simply want their pet to get through Christmas or to get through their next birthday or to make a really important mark in their life, or even sometimes even for a weekend, just so that their husband, their wife, their son or daughter can come home from school or college just simply to be there with the pet. So even if it is just simply about extending and keeping that pet as comfortable as possible until that euthanasia occurs or until the natural death happens. Along those lines, the second myth is that hospice or palliative care is a substitute for euthanasia. It is not. It's not a substitute for euthanasia. It's the time at which happens before that euthanasia, or if, again, in case a natural death happens, that's simply strictly what it's about, is keeping that pet comfortable before that moment. The third most common myth is that hospice or palliative care is there simply to increase the price tag or for it to extend suffering for that pet. It's not supposed to be there to actually cost the family more, and in a lot of ways it can cost the family less if we've decided to do hospice care or simply palliative care instead of extenuating diagnostics or a lot of different tests or things that aren't going to add, again, to the value of that pet's life at that moment. We can instead take those monies that were going to be spent on diagnostics and put them directly on treatment. So again, it's not there to increase the life of the pet or the longevity of the pet. It's certainly not there to be a substitute for euthanasia, and it's absolutely, hospice care is not there to increase the actual amount of funds that a client is supposed to be spending on that pet at the end of life.
Meow.